Welcome to the Pocatello Business Podcast, the only Pocatello podcast focused on providing profits for Pocatello people. If you love our town and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Pocatello Business Podcast with your friend, host, all-around great guy, and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone. Welcome again to the Pocatello Business Podcast for another awesome episode. I'm going solo today again because we had a change of schedule with one of our guests that will be pushed to the following week. So I figured, you know what? I've been wanting to do this, so let's do this today. Let's talk about resources for your business. You know, when I first started out, number one, I was broke. Number two, I didn't know anything. And number three, I was an idiot. You still know that, but there's certain things I wish I would have known, or certain avenues open to small business owners and even just general business owners that make it really convenient for you to run your business. So I wanted to share some of those resources that I use currently that I think a lot of you could get some great value out of. For those that are listening on podcast, I'll explain everything in as best detail as I can, but I'm not very smart, so let's just continue to go forward here. I'm going to share my screen for those that are watching on Facebook or on YouTube. First resource that I think is important for you to know of is a company, a website called Fiverr, and it's FIV as in Victor, ERR.com. So Fiverr.com. This, and I will say this right now too, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I just want to give you guys some help for those that are maybe looking for some extra assistance or that could definitely use some different resources. So Fiverr.com, anything you guys need, as a freelancer, you're hiring these people as a freelancer to do a certain job for you. No matter what it is. So you could be programming or tech stuff, or graphic design or digital marketing, writing and translation, video and animation, music and audio, business stuff, and lifestyle stuff, and industrial stuff. So like for me personally, I've used them because as a small business owner, maybe you're not, first of all, maybe you're not well connected. So, and maybe you need a logo, and you don't know any good, maybe some graphic designers. I know there are some locally here, and I want to have them on the show, but say, hey, you got to get something rolling, and there's one stop you can get it all at. Fiverr, I've had logo stuff done. My logo is actually built for my sister-in-law. She's amazing. Her name's Emily Ward, and she does logo design and stuff like that, and she's amazing. She did this New Clean business logo right here, and she's awesome. But Fiverr, she has helped me with a few other things. They actually designed the Pocatello Business Podcast logo. I've had billboard stuff done with them. I've had the music for the Pocatello Business Podcast intro and outro was on through Fiverr from a contact I made there. Even the introduction of the voiceover, it's a gal that I found on Fiverr. She actually does a lot of voiceover stuff for Cartoon Network. So it's pretty cool that you have access to this type of talent on this. For example, if you're looking for, let's say, like we just talked about, logo design, and you go into Fiverr, just so you guys know, you have options from, $50 up to, $155 down to $35. There's so many options they give you, and that you can see what their rating is, the review ratings, and how many reviews they've had. So that's a good option to do. So you can get things done pretty quick, and they have quick turnarounds, and that's a good option for you. So Fiverr is one good option. So say you continue to grow, and you're growing, and you're like, okay, I don't have, maybe I don't need an actual employee yet, because I'm a big believer in hiring for tasks, not just giving a title to someone and filling their day up with just busy work that you need to keep them busy with. I'm very task oriented. So if there's something that you need to get done on a daily or weekly or monthly basis that you don't want to spend time on, and it's not worth you spending your time on when you are trying to be creative and growing your business, I use a website called Upwork, and it's upwork.com, upwork.com. And this is an amazing place for you to hire virtual assistants. So I have a virtual assistant right now. I'll probably have her on the podcast one of these days to talk about what she does for us. But she's in LA, but she's a contractor through Upwork. Again, it's just a flat rate pay. You're paying them as a contractor, and Upwork handles all that information, all that stuff on the side. So literally, you just give your credit card information, your debit card information. They bill you, and it's easy peasy. The virtual assistant I have, she's, like I said, from LA. She actually works with Discovery Channel, and she focuses on the Shark Week stuff. So that's pretty cool. But then on the side, she has a little side hustle where she helps us within New Clean, and she does all the scheduling for our entire company. So anywhere from 35 to 40 employees currently right now are being scheduled throughout 4 different cities. And I know you're going to say, oh, well, not with my business. There's no way I can hire a virtual assistant for my business. Oh, the stuff I do is just so complex. And you got to know this, and you got to know this, and this situation happens. You got to know this. Well, guys, remember this. If they can teach and pass down the information and technology from generations now to take one human heart out of someone's body and then move it into another person's body. Granted, these are brilliant doctors, and I hope to have, hopefully Jake Del Rosa on the podcast here soon talk about that, because he's not only a brilliant doctor, but an awesome businessman as well. If they can do that, I think we can automate some of our business systems. So at first, and I had a consultant that kind of said, hey, you can do this. Make this all on a virtual assistant. I said, wow, you don't know, people call out sick or this happens. And he said, well, what do you think a pilot does when his engine catches on fire? Do you think he just screams and cries about it, or do you think he has a checklist in place? And I said, well, that's got to humble me a little bit, but yeah, of course he has a checklist and I'm not a pilot. We got to have a pilot on the show one of these days so we can go through that checklist, but that'd be awesome. But I'm sure one of the checklists, the first one's like, hey, kill the power of the engine, kill the fuel of the engine, let's stifle that fire. And then there's a checklist of how to solve that solution while they're in there, because they just can't dock the plane and say, hey, let's get out and fix it. They got to think on their feet and get it done. And that's what you can do with your business. You can do the same exact thing. So I actually have a checklist of what I have to do when certain people or certain situations rise up, that our virtual assistant through Upwork, she follows that system. And she has communication with a communication app for all of our employees, so they can communicate that way in real time. And it's easy, guys. And it's taken so much off my plate and my operations manager's plate, Robin Musselman, which we'll have her on the show eventually here as well to talk about what she does. But Upwork, guys, and again, I'm not sponsored. Upwork.com is a good place to hire a virtual assistant to do anything. And you can find people that are, anywhere from literally $8 an hour to 30 to $50, $60 an hour, depending, because they all have different experience levels. And there's some high level people on Upwork you can hire, and you can say, this is how many hours I think it's going to take every week, and that's what I'm willing to pay. And it's a good resource, guys, to keep your mind wrapped around, is using Upwork.com. And if Upwork, you do want to sponsor me later on with a show, hey, I'm not going to turn it down. So, but I do like using Upwork. Number 3, when you're talking about sales, sales funnels, all that kind of stuff, there's a site called clickfunnels.com. Clickfunnels.com literally helps you automate a sales funnel. So saying, you see this all over the internet right now, guys, where they're saying, hey, you're interested, say in an outdoor survival or something like that, and the internet's real good at following you around and figuring out what you're interested in and what you're looking at. And then all of a sudden, maybe you have something that comes up and says, hey, click here for 5 ways to survive in the wild, and you're like, oh, freak, this is awesome. That is a sales funnel. You click here, you enter your information into it, your email, your name, and you get in return those 5 ways to survive in the wild, which is called a lead magnet. So you get that for exchanging information, and then you of course are on their email list, and then they continue to try to maybe sell you on some other things that are of value to you. You don't ever want to spam anyone, of course, but you want to continue to add value to people's lives with the follow-up emails or text message you send. So that's a big thing I do, is anything I send out after someone goes through one of my sales funnels, I have to be able to provide some kind of value to them. And we try to provide a bunch of free advice and information about even just cleaning in general for new clean. So ClickFunnels is a good way. I think they're even based out of Boise, believe it or not. So ClickFunnels is a good one if you're trying to automate your sales systems. I'm still trying to get better at it myself. So that's a good one. Something that integrates with ClickFunnels is something that's called Aweber. So and then Weber, Weber.com. And so you can actually go on here, build forms to attach into your funnels. So the actual form where you say, hey, what's your name and email, and hit submit, you build those on Aweber. And then once they click into that, and that can be embedded into your ClickFunnels form, then once Aweber has that information, then it can put that name and email address into a campaign, and then you can start sending them emails or things like that to continue to better their lives. You can use this for customer service. You can build any type of form you need. You can use this for customer service. You can use it for sales, anything like that. So Aweber is a kind of a cool source, and you can even track, who opens your emails, and I'm very data driven. So I want to know, if things are working, because if they're not working, small business owners, we don't want to waste money. So we want to be able to track results and see the ROI that's coming into our businesses from certain avenues that you're spending money in. Another one is called Calendly. This is, if you've been onto my show, the Pocatello Business Podcast, you can go in to the Pocatello Business Calendly, and that's how you book the page. So literally, I'll just show you again, podcast listeners. You're not going to see it, but I'm going to describe it. You literally have a calendar that pops up, and it says, okay, a description of what this meeting's about. It's going to be a web conference for the Pocatello Business Podcast, or we can meet in general. And you can click on a day, you can click on a time, and then confirm the time, and then you put your information in, your email, send it, your phone number for text reminders, and Calendly does the rest. It sends a notification to you as the user, and it sends continued notifications to the people who signed up. So to make things really easy and organized. So it makes things really cool that way. So Calendly is a cool resource for you to use. And I know, and guys, there's so many different resources out there. Like I said, I can't say this enough. I'm not sponsored. I don't have any preferences. I'm just showing you what I use. So Calendly is something out there that I use. I'm sure there's other things out there that people use. Whatever works best for you, I'm just showing you options. So Calendly.com, and that's just CALENDLY.com, Calendly. And then if you're looking, as you're getting bigger and you're trying to get more information, and to organize your customers, you need to maybe look into a CRM, a customer, I don't know, it's a relationship management tool. And there's one I know, I'm currently looking into it, but it's called ActiveCampaign. I know there's a few of my friends and associates that use it. And this can actually, you can probably do away with Aweber and probably Calendly by using this. If you can do this, so ActiveCampaign, it'll keep track of things. You can run email marketing. You can do text messages all through that as well. So this is another option for you to be able to automate your customer flow, and it'll probably even keep track to say, hey, you did this for this customer last year. This time we need to send them a reminder saying, hey, let's get you on the books again for this upcoming year for the same service. So make sure that money's not slipping through the cracks. So that's a good one, guys. And one more I thought would be interesting for you guys to know about. You're a small business. You're trying to do what you need to do to be efficient with your money. And of course, most of us are probably using, maybe you're using a cell phone for your business line, which I would not recommend. You can give your cell phone out to your customers when you need to, but there's so many different ways for customer phones. Ben Newbold from Ideacom, he can hook you up with some good options, some relatively cheap options for business phones. So, but have a business line wherever you get it. I know Verizon offers options for that as well. And you can literally use your cell phone and just download the app. So when someone rings your business line, it comes through the app. So you know exactly, okay, that's from the business line. Oh, and this is obviously my personal phone that's coming through. So, so say you need, you've got maybe a few things you're advertising. Say, for example, a billboard. We do advertising for Dell's Inc. right now. Dell's Inc. Outdoor advertising. They've been around for 60 years now. The billboards are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and more than 30% of people actually take action on those billboards after they've seen it. So how do you track that? How do you track if your billboards and your advertising efforts are working? So say you have maybe a postcard that's going out or a newsletter, and you're offering some type of offer. And I would recommend only one call to action. Don't say this and this and this. Here's my email. Here's all this kind of stuff. Give them one call to action to do. CallRail is something you can sign up for. I think it's $35 a month, and you can get multiple phone numbers, and they can all funnel into your main business line. But when you go to answer it, it'll say, hey, this is from what, and you can fill in the blank. This is from your billboard ad. And then all of a sudden you answer, and it's the customer that's calling from the billboard ad, from that number that you put out on the billboard, meaning that's the only way they could get a hold of that number is from that billboard. So you know exactly your ROI from that, and it's very trackable. CallRail is a good option for that. Again, there's probably other options besides CallRail, but if you're looking for some options, if you're looking to track exactly the money that's going out of your pocket into your marketing efforts, this is a good way to do it. And guys, don't just blindly spend when it comes to marketing. You got to know what's working. And these are some options that are working for me. So I hope you guys can maybe take advantage of them. And I just thought that would be interesting to share with you guys today. But CallRail, like I said, CallRail.com. Check it out. So Fiverr is a good one for your contracting, your freelancers, the creative types, the technical types, all that kind of stuff. If you need a virtual assistant to work full-time hours or even part-time hours, or just maybe like mine's 7 to 10 hours a week, Upwork.com. If you need to start working on your automation of your sales funnels and getting more leads in that way, ClickFunnels. And the ClickFunnels is really for paid traffic. It's not really good for SEO stuff or people finding you naturally. You actually need to run like a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad to get them to the sales funnel of ClickFunnels. Again, Aweber is where you can generate forms, all that kind of stuff that embed into ClickFunnels pages, landing pages, you call them. And then Calendly also can embed as well into these ClickFunnels, but it's easy for them to make an appointment right then. So if you're giving them a call to action and they can find a way right then to make an appointment, boom, that's the best way to do it. And then the CRM, what did we say it was? The active campaign. That's a good one for you to look into as well, that it can replace some of these other ones I talked about. But some of these are cheaper than others. An active campaign, I think, is maybe at least $100 or more per month. And some of these other ones you can get into a little bit cheaper as you start out and as you're trying to be more effective with your money. And then CallRail at the end is where you have multiple numbers and you can put those in different areas to track what your ROI is on your marketing efforts. And so that's what's going on, guys. We'll actually have a billboard coming in over there on the Shine connector for the Pocatello Business Podcast. And the number below the new clean logo is actually a number from CallRail. It's a trackable number. I'll know exactly how many people are calling that number. So call it, ask for our services. We're more than happy to come clean your toilets, wax your floors, clean your tile and grout. You know, that's what we do. You know, and that's the best thing. You're going to see people with logoed shirts. You're going to see people with name tags, and you're going to know exactly what's going on. And we guarantee our work. We give you the "we're not perfect" guarantee. And if you're not satisfied with our services, you don't pay for that cleaning. So that's how it is. We put our mouth where our money is. And guys, I just thought this would be a good episode for you to know some of these resources. I hope this is helpful. Until next time, have a good one. And if you need some extra advertising, some billboard pushing, go to Dells Inc. and give them a holler, because I know they'd be willing to help you. Their number again is 208-232-6886. Again, 208-232-6886. And that is for Dells Outdoor Advertising. So give them a holler. Thanks again, guys. Great episode. I hope you get a lot out of it, and we'll chat with you a little bit later. See ya.
Congratulations on spending a couple minutes getting just a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Pocatello business community. If you are feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.